This week in Jamaica Now, bodyguard of the finance minister killed in a fiery crash. Kidnapped taxi operator freed after family pays $400,000 in ransom. Man accused of killing pregnant girlfriend dies in police lockup. Party time. Prime Minister lifts ban on events and entertainment and relaxes the COVID curfew hours too.
Support the big man even more, right? But you must also make sure that whatever you do, the liquor man must get the full support and never be left behind.
JPS applies for rate increase. Veronica Campbell Brown retiring from athletics after decorated career. And Usain Bolt and girlfriend Kasi Bennett welcome twin boys. I'm Damian Mitchell and this is Jamaica Now. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clarke says he is deeply saddened by the death of one of his bodyguards who was killed in a fiery crash along the Cooper's Pen Main Road in Trelawney late Thursday afternoon. According to the minister, it is a terrible and intensely painful loss. Sergeant Marlon Smith was piloting a convoy with the minister when he crashed into a Honda CR-V and a truck. The sergeant's Suzuki Vitara was pushed off the road and later burst into flames.
Too much speed, man. Jesus,
A 38-year-old taxi operator who endured 2 days of threats is now back with his family after they paid a ransom of $400,000. The taxi operator, whose name is being withheld, was reportedly taunted by mobsters at shallow graves with worm-infested human remains. Now he's living in fear that his kidnappers will return. The taxi driver was kidnapped at a garage in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. Few abductions in Jamaica come with a demand for ransom. Several persons making such bids have been arrested in the past. The ransom was paid by his girlfriend. It is understood that at one point the kidnappers toyed with a figure of $800,000. It is not clear whether the police were aware of the drop-off. The Clarendon farmer who allegedly killed his girlfriend in Roden Hall district this week is suspected to have committed suicide in his cell a day later. 20-year-old Markland Hales, who is from Mason River district, was found hanging by a piece of clothing tied around his neck. Hales was taken to custody on Sunday, June 20, after 21-year-old Tashika McKay was found by a relative with her throat slashed. Hales was taken to the hospital and treated for injuries he sustained from stones that were hurled during their arrest. One policeman was also treated. The entertainment fraternity has welcomed the decision of Prime Minister Andrew Holness to reopen the sector. Holness made the announcement in the House of Representatives this week, but he warned that the protocols for the return of entertainment events must be honored.
What I am clear on is that they all understand the risks involved. And we have said, Madam Speaker, and I think it should be said here as well, that if we see the numbers move, that we will immediately act.
At the same time, the Prime Minister has relaxed the COVID curfew hours. Effective July 1, the curfew will be Mondays to Saturdays at 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. and on Sundays from 6 p.m. to 5 a.m.
We believe, Madam Speaker, that this will allow almost full return in terms of business capacity to the quick service industries, and it will start the phasing in of entertainment.
The Office of Utilities Regulations, the OUR, is now reviewing an application by the Jamaica Public Service Company, the JPS, for a rate increase. The OUR says it expects to make a decision by September. According to the regulator, the current filing is the utility provider's first application for an annual tariff adjustment following the conclusion of its 2019-2024 JPS tariff review process in December 2020. The JPS is proposing an average adjustment of 3.5% of the non-fuel tariff. Legendary Jamaican sprinter Veronica Campbell Brown has announced her retirement from competitive athletics. It brings an end to one of the most successful careers in international track and field. Campbell Brown last month celebrated her 39th birthday. She has won 19 medals at the Olympic Games and World Championships levels and 34 as a senior athlete for Jamaica. Campbell Brown was also a back-to-back 200-meter Olympic gold medalist. The sprinter made the retirement announcement on her official Instagram account on Wednesday. What a journey it has been, VCB posted, recalling her ascension from a small town in Trelawney, Jamaica, to becoming one of the most decorated Olympians. Track and field great Usain Bolt has welcomed twin boys with his partner Kasi Bennett. Their names have been revealed as St. Leo Bolt and Thunderbolt. Bolt posted photos of his new additions alongside their one-year-old daughter, Olympia. Olympia was born on May 17, 2020. Bennett, in wishing Bolt a happy Father's Day, posted, "You are the rock of this family and the greatest daddy to our little ones. We love you, world without end." Bolt ran his last competitive race at the 2017 World Championships in London, where he finished third in the 100 meters. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Jamaica Gleaner and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. Like this video on our YouTube page, subscribe today, and turn on your notifications. I'm Damian Mitchell, and before we go, Constable Tora Lawrence recalls her act of kindness on Saturday when she helped a 91-year-old man to the vaccination center at the Grand Bahia Principe Hotel in Runaway Bay, St. Anne.
I asked him, "Do you trust me?" To which he said, "Yes." And I asked him a second time, and he said yes again. So I looked at him and I said, "Do you trust me enough to carry you?" He said yes, and he said, "Are you sure?" He said yes. So I took off my hat and I gave it to the lady that was accompanying him, and I also took his cane and I handed it to her. So I lifted him and I started walking towards the main entrance. There was this gentleman that was like, "Oh my God, I have to record this," and he started recording, and no, I don't know him. And sometime after walking for a while, he said, he offered to help, so I said, okay. I grew up with my grandmother and my grandfather, and my grandmother was crippled for some years, for quite a bit of years. And over the years, taking her to the doctor, I would have had the experience of having to lift her from the house to the vehicle, sometimes up staircases to get to the doctor's office. So yeah, my grandma was one of the main reasons that when I saw him, that I reached out to help.